Hello, my angels. This perspective that I'm going to share is going to change the way you love yourself forever. Forever, ever, 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 ever. And before we get into it, let's take a deep breath in. And sigh. I want you to sit back, relax, get yourself a drink, whether it's your matcha, your chai latte, your tea, your cappuccino, or even your water. And let's melt into this beautiful love we are going to create together. This concept was actually inspired by my idol, my guru that I love the most, RuPaul. When he came to do his book tour, he said to find a picture of yourself when you were 5, 6 years old and have it as your phone wallpaper or your screensaver, so that you are reminded that this is the child you are taking care of all the time. All the time. I want you to, first of all, imagine what you were like when you were younger. When you're young, you ask for things and you always get it. You are so honest about your needs, whether you are tired, whether you are hungry, whether you want this toy, whether you want to leave the place. You are so honest. And what does your parent do? Most of the time, they will listen to your needs, right? They will fulfill your needs. Even when certain needs are not being met, for example, if you didn't get the affection from your parent, if you didn't get the acceptance of your family, if you weren't celebrated, if you weren't loved, you go out and look for that in other people. So you're looking for outside sources to take care of this child that is within you. When we do that, which is what most of us do, and especially when it comes to romantic partners, we put all our expectations on somebody else fulfilling our needs, giving us the love, the acceptance that we feel like we are lacking. And then when that partner or that person leaves us, we feel this deep, deep, deep level of loneliness, unworthiness. We start thinking that we are unlovable and that we are too much and that nobody's out there to fill that void that is inside of you. We are basically carrying our child with us and looking for a parent. That's what we're doing. And how many times have we neglected ourselves or abandoned our own self by staying at a place where you feel like you're having to shrink, where being in a relationship that is not respecting you, being around people that are not respecting you, neglecting the needs of your body when you are tired, not feeding yourself proper nutritional food, not giving yourself enough sleep. What you're doing is you're doing that to your child. How crazy would that be? I just want you to step away and think of it in this context, okay? Imagine your child is tired and they want to rest, but you're telling your child, no, you have to work because I'm not going to love you if you don't. Or imagine your child is being disrespected by somebody And you're telling the child, no, you have to accept this because nobody else is going to love you. And imagine this child saying they're hungry and they want to be fed the right nutritional food, and you are saying, no, you're gonna eat the bare minimum. And I guess the sad part is that so many of us are doing that. But I don't want you to shame yourself. I don't want you to judge yourself. Just know that today's the day you can start making that change. And the good news is, it is so much easier than you actually think. Okay? So much easier. It doesn't have to be grand. It can just start with little things, okay? Little things like start saying kind words to yourself. Start speaking to yourself the same way you would speak to a child. Because, you know, even science says that your body cells are always listening to you. So what if you start loving yourself like the most cherished child is on the reflection of the mirror that you're looking at? Love yourself in such a deep way that you would when you had your own child, if you had your own child. You know? Start embracing all that you are. Don't judge yourself anymore. You are wonderful. You're perfect exactly as you are. What are the things that you will say to your younger self? Maybe even start with writing a letter. And know that that letter is actually for you right now. You know, as we grow older, we become so judgmental of ourselves and everybody else. So today is the day to start having more grace, start having more compassion, start having more love for yourself. Because you deserve the best, only the best. What would your child self deserve? The love, the acceptance, the celebration, the praise, the kind words. You give all of that to yourself, okay? And like I said, it's really not that difficult. And of course, you know, giving yourself the sleep that you need, the rest that you need. Walking away from friendships that are disrespectful. Imagine, like, what would your most fierce, loving parent do, right? Do that to yourself, you know? Saying no. Saying no when you really want to say no. Because when you say no to something or someone, you're actually saying yes to yourself. Okay? You're saying yes to yourself. And there's nobody else that is going to give you what you want. Nobody. And even if they do, it's very temporary, because that other person might change, they might leave. Nothing is permanent, you know. Stop relying on other people. You give yourself what you deserve, what you need. And what you're doing is that you are setting a standard. You're setting this standard for yourself. And when you love yourself to that extreme, honey, life will start reflecting that back. It is law. Story time. Where do I even begin? So I know that as a child I was supremely celebrated everywhere I went. You know, my teachers loved me, my classmates loved me, my friends loved me. And when I moved countries, that was the one thing that kind of really put me in a really dark place, is that I was looking for the outside world to accept me, to celebrate me. And when they wouldn't, I would feel this deep, deep, deep void, you know? And it was many, many years later when I found out about affirmations, is when I started speaking kindly to myself for the first time. And wow, it was insane. The moment I fully embraced myself, fully accepted myself, fully loved myself, is the day the world started loving me for being me. And the funny thing is, there were certain affirmations I was using, and one of them was that I am human sunshine. I would call myself a human sunshine. Every time I look in the mirror, you know, I'd be praising her, I'd be loving her. And what happened is that people on the outside would literally say the same thing: you are a human sunshine. And I was like, thank you so much. But at the same time, I knew that I gave that love to myself first, and then everything else is reflected back. Another thing that I am learning recently is to eliminate guilt for taking care of myself. And I'm seeing myself as the little princess. Little princess got her princess needs, and nobody else gonna fulfill it but me. So I've been taking myself on shopping days, and even when my budget was small, I was still listening to my child's desires. She loves to shop for clothes, okay? So I'm gonna give her the clothes that she likes. And she also loves desserts, so I'm gonna feed her dessert whenever she wants, okay? So I've been doing that in like little portions and not feeling guilty about it, and knowing that just I deserve this love, I deserve this treatment, I deserve being spoiled, I deserve this love. So I'm gonna give it to myself first, okay? And what started happening is that the people around me started treating me even better than I could possibly imagine, okay? I cannot even describe the kind of love I'm receiving. I was sent this huge bouquet of luxury roses. It wasn't just a small bouquet, it was huge. There must have been like 50 or 60 roses. They were huge. And I was just like, wow. You know, prior to that, I was already buying me flowers. I was buying myself flowers anyway. And then when this came, I was just like, thank you, God. I had to give that to myself first, and the world reflects it back. And what else started happening is the more I was practicing this, my money started coming from unexpected places. When I'd have a desire to get something specific and I needed a certain amount of money, even more money started showing up so I could get and I could treat myself and I could spoil myself with the things that made me feel more princess. So these are just some tiny examples, but all I want to do is to change the way you really see yourself. Okay? You are not a secondary option. You are your own priority. You are your own princess. You are your own parent. So give yourself everything that you desire. And the more you do this, the more God is going to be by your side. The more you're setting the standard of the level of love you deserve, that you are naturally melting into, that whenever somebody treats you less than the way you love yourself, you're immediately gonna not even entertain that, okay? That is the level of love I want you to start practicing with yourself. And like I said, it is really easy. Start with baby steps. Baby steps. And the more you do this, the more you're setting the standard of level of love that everybody around you should be settling with. When you're living your best life, you inspire other people to live their best life. You inspire other people of what is actually possible. But everything begins with you. And you deserve the best. Don't you? Your younger self deserves the best of the best of the best. They deserve everything they desire. And it all starts with you. I hope that this message has clicked something within you, because like all my videos, all I want to do is for you to give yourself permission to love yourself more deeply than you've ever done before. Because you deserve the best of the best. Until next time, keep loving yourself more and more and more and more and more. And I will see you soon.